All right, welcome to the Football Exchange. I'm your market analyst, Mark, and we are tracking all the high-stakes trading, the biggest rumors, and the major acquisitions that are absolutely lighting up the transfer market. So, on the ticker today, we've got three blue-chip firms making some massive moves: Manchester United, Manchester City, and Liverpool. We're going to be breaking down all the actions, so if you want to stay ahead of the market, you know what to do. Make sure you're subscribed for our daily analysis. Now, let's get to it. And there it is. The opening bell has rung and the market is officially live. The ticker is already on fire with some huge potential deals on the horizon. So let's get straight to the trading floor. First up, we're heading to Manchester, where two of the biggest corporate giants are locked in a fierce bidding war for a top-tier asset. This is shaping up to be a classic hostile takeover, folks. So, the asset everyone's fighting over? That would be Nottingham Forest's 23-year-old midfielder, Elliot Anderson. The board is showing both Manchester United and Manchester City positioning themselves as major investors. And trust me, both of them want to execute this trade fast. This is not just a negotiation, it's a flat-out race to acquire a premium talent before his market valuation just explodes. And why the big hurry? Well, it's because Anderson's stock is projected to go absolutely parabolic. This slide shows you the key figure: a valuation already rocketing past £100 million. A strong World Cup performance could send that price tag into the stratosphere, which makes this an incredibly time-sensitive investment. Which, of course, brings us to the big question for all you analysts watching at home. Is Anderson's stock actually overvalued? Is a potential 9-figure price tag a really smart investment in future returns, or is this just market hype driving up the cost? I want to know your analysis on this one. All right, staying with Manchester United, our next big trade involves a potential asset sale. We're looking at the future of their captain, Bruno Fernandes, and a very specific clause in his contract that basically works like a fixed price option. Now, for anyone kind of new to the trading floor, a release clause is essentially a pre-agreed buyout price. It lets an interested party, like PSG or Bayern Munich in this case, to just acquire the asset for a set sum, completely skipping the often long and drawn-out negotiation process. It is a powerful tool for an aggressive buyer. And the hard number on that buyout option for Bruno Fernandes is £57 million. For any farm looking to trigger that clause, that's the price. It's non-negotiable. And the crucial point here is that United's hands are completely tied if that number gets met. So this presents a massive strategic decision. It's the £57 million question for Manchester United's board. Should they hold on to their 31-year-old captain, a real core asset, or is it time to cash in now and reinvest those funds somewhere else? What would your play be? Okay, let's switch tickers and shift our focus over to Merseyside. While United are dealing with these specific acquisitions and potential sales, Liverpool, well, they're planning something much bigger, a full-scale portfolio overhaul after a pretty disappointing season. And let me tell you, the word from inside the firm is crystal clear. Anfield's top brass are ready to sanction a major restructuring. This means they're liquidating underperforming assets and injecting fresh capital into new, high-potential acquisitions. They want to rebalance the entire portfolio for the season ahead. And one of their prime acquisition targets is the Juventus midfielder Khéphren Thuram. He's a 25-year-old France international, a very solid growth stock. But here's the catch. Liverpool aren't the only bidders. They're facing stiff competition from other major investors like Manchester United and Newcastle, which will undoubtedly create a bidding war and drive that price way up. This whole competition for Thuram, it's not a one-off. It's actually part of a much wider trend we're seeing all across the market. We are entering a period of super high-volume trading, with certain assets showing extreme volatility because of all this widespread interest. And just take a look at this. It perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about. Look at the trading interest in Bournemouth's Marcos Senesi, with 8 different firms listed as bidders. Everyone from Barcelona to Sunderland. The market for this asset becomes incredibly volatile. You should expect some wild price fluctuations on this one. And listen, Senesi is not an isolated case here, not by a long shot. We're seeing this kind of volatility all over the place. Goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen is another hot stock with at least 3 major firms watching him. Young defender Karim Koulibaly is being chased by a whole pack of 5 clubs. And John Lukumi is another asset creating some serious market churn. It is a genuine trading frenzy out there. All right, for our final segment, let's turn to the futures market.
These are the long-term plays, right? The assets whose value and placement are being discussed not just for this window, but for years down the line.
Now take a look at this quote from Chelsea's Moises Caicedo. This is what we in the business call a forward-looking statement. He's confirming his commitment to his current firm for the short term. But he's also putting the market on notice about a potential long-term move to a competitor, Real Madrid. You can bet investors will be keeping a very, very close eye on that stock. And that's all the time we have on the trading floor for today. Wow, the market is just absolutely buzzing. But now I want to hear from you. What blockbuster trade do you want to see go through this summer? Drop your analysis down in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like this report. We'll be back tomorrow with more market analysis before the opening bell.